Ave Imperator! Today I have two talking points in my last playthrough of Mechanicus 2 that I would like to bring before you. The first point is a really interesting one about the Necrons, and the second is about an unexpected faction I encountered, the Space Marines, and most specifically, the Iron Hands. Without any further ado, friends, let's get into it.
Who is this that challenges the rightful Lord of Kivroth? You have invaded my world. You violate the ancient rights of Dominion. You shed the blood of my servants. Blood? No. Oops. We are beyond such frailties as flesh and blood. It matters not. Kivroth belongs to me.
You have shed the blood of my servants. This is something a Necron, especially a Necron as highly ranking as a Pharaon, would never say. Discussing any kind of organic thing like blood, bodily waste, viscera, these are all highly taboo subjects. This will come up again. I'm going to review a video very soon by the talented Colmar McGinnis, his Necron song. I'm going to talk about this more in depth there. But the Necrons, on the day that they lost their form, when they took on this steel shell, this necrodermis that they now wear, it became incredibly taboo to talk about anything organic. It just was a not done thing. So for this Pharaon to come out and to say, you shed the blood of my servants, and catch himself like, oh, no, we don't have blood anymore. There's two things going on here, but the one I really want to focus in on is that breaking of a taboo. This typically happens, and we see this in a wonderful book called Twice Dead King Ruin, I believe. Twice Dead King Ruin is where we see this taboo being broken, and it is almost always a sign of an oncoming case of the Flayer Curse. What is the Flayer Curse? Great question. The Flayer Curse is something that began to afflict the Necrons at the conclusion of their war against the Catan, most particularly when they shut down a Catan called Llandu'gor. Necrons who participated in that part of their campaign noticed a change overcoming them, starting with their personalities. They became withdrawn. They became hyper-fixated on flesh, bone, and skin, to the point where they would even catch themselves trying to put pieces of gore in their mouths to feed. The Necrons, of course, have no mouths. They have no digestive tract. All they have is the memories of those things. And the higher up you go in their hierarchies, the more prevalent those memories are. Because again, Necron society is completely hierarchical. The ruling castes have the greatest freedom in their body, in their expressions, in their computing power as well. Something as lowly as a Necron warrior, for example. A Necron warrior is essentially a drone, just following the orders of their higher-ups. So for this Pharaon to come and say, you shed the blood of my servants, is almost certainly indicative of the fact that he is undergoing the first stages of the Flayer Curse. This will eventually drive him to madness. It will mutate and warp his necrodermis. He will display the long talons, the hunched posture of a flayed one, and he will even gain access to something called the Flayer Dimension. It is a subdimension, a liminal space, if you prefer, where the Necron flayed ones are able to go and hide in between their hunts for mortal flesh. Without spoiling too much, another possibility is offered for where Necron flayed ones might go at the end of Twice Dead King Rise, which is the sequel to Twice Dead King Ruin. Both books I highly encourage you to go and check out. They are wonderful reads. Really great insight into how Necron society works, as well as look at their tech, some of the things that are possible and impossible for them, and honestly, how far they've fallen. Right now, Necron tech is sort of the pinnacle of what's achievable in the galaxy, but they were once so much more. It is honestly a tragedy to see a Pharaon as proud as the one I'm looking at on my screen right now. Again, the Baroque gold designs on his necrodermis, the touches, his cartouche embedded here in his chest. That is the symbol of his dynasty, by the way. That kind of sarcophagus-shaped thing on his chest is literally the symbol that means the Sankotep dynasty. So, tragedy. In a short period of time, this Necron Lord, I almost guarantee if he survives the campaign, which does look unlikely, will become a flayed one. And he will join the ranks of his twisted, mutated brothers in that special pocket dimension, there to hunger and lust after blood and gore for the rest of eternity. Tragic. The Necrons in a nutshell.
Skatros observers confirm the Pharaon was destroyed.
Then the head is cut off the snake. Our oaths are upheld.
To fight alongside the Adeptus Astartes was a rare honor, Sergeant. Ex Veritas could not have been saved without your brethren.
We are not saviors, Magos. The strong do not need to be saved. The weak do not deserve to be.
You have my order's gratitude regardless. This victory shall advance our strategic models beyond all expectation. The Necron leader's destruction was fortunate indeed.
The Overlord did not fall by our hand. Be wary, Magos. Do not trust in fortune, only in strength.
The thing that I want to talk about here about the Iron Hands, who are again quite a surprise to have in the Mechanicus 2 campaign, is this quote. Now let me read it for you. The strong do not need to be saved. The weak do not deserve to be. 10,000 years ago, Istvan V, the Iron Hands are part of a detachment of legions sent, almost in their full power, to bring Horus to heel. And of course, in the betrayal that followed, 3 legions were shattered. The Salamanders, the Raven Guard, and the Iron Hands. 2 Primarchs were thought lost, and 1 was outright killed. The one, of course, being the Iron Hands Primarch, Ferrus Manus. Since that day, for 10,000 years, the loss of their Primarch has cut the Iron Hands to the bone. The Iron Hands natively have an affinity with machines and machine spirits that is seen nowhere else. Even chapters like the Ultramarines' successor chapter, the Praetors of Orpheus, who are famed for their facility with machines and famed for their bonds, their tight bonds to the Adeptus Mechanicus, pale compared to the Iron Hands. The Iron Hands are truly special, truly blessed, honestly. Now, whether that is something inborn to them as sons of the planet Medusa, or whether it's something that happens during their gene seed implantation, i.e. something that comes directly from the line of Ferrus Manus himself, we're not totally sure. But the truth is, again, there's no one who gets machines the way the Iron Hands do. There just isn't. So, also too, the Iron Hands, even before Istvan V, revered the machine. They would have found quite a lot to agree with in that statement from Archimagos Faustinius. When I realized the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. The Iron Hands would have seen a lot to agree with in that. Ferrus Manus himself famously had those silver hands that are still the chapter standard of the Iron Hands to this day. Where before, the Iron Hands would have a few augmentations, maybe a bionic eye, cutting off a hand to replace their hand to become more like their gene father, something like that. Now we see the Iron Hands ruthlessly pursuing augmentation. I use the word ruthlessly under advisement because that's what it is. They are obsessed. They feel, and this is a scar they have borne for 10,000 years, they feel they failed their father at Istvan V. Ferrus Manus, the Iron Hands believe, is dead because of their weakness. And where is their weakness rooted? The flesh. And what do we replace? The flesh. That's why you will see the Iron Hands sporting outlandish numbers of augmentations. The Adeptus Astartes' physical form is almost peak human performance. It's as good as it gets. They are stronger, faster. They have a mental capacity that dwarfs a genius's. And yet, still obsessed with replacing the flesh because they just weren't strong enough to save their father there on the black sands of Istvan V amidst the first sparks of Horus's heresy. That quote, "The strong do not need to be saved, the weak do not deserve to be," completely sidesteps their duty to humanity, the shield against the darkness that the Adeptus Astartes were designed by the Emperor to be. And it just reveals, again, their flaw of feeling not good enough, that they failed their father. And for 10,000 years, the Iron Hands have been mired in internal politicking and obsessive augmentation. It's tragic, it's sad. I'm so happy that the Mechanicus 2 game that just came out recently has gone to such great lengths to be so subtle, to not in a heavy-handed way say, this is what the Iron Hands are, but rather, with a few choice words, reveal the flaw within the steel of the Iron Hands chapter. Ave Imperator, brothers and sisters, and Ave Deus Mechanicus, the 3-in-1, the Omnissiah. That's it for today. As always, friends, the like, the share, the hype, the subscribe are very important to a small channel like mine. It's people like you who are helping my channel grow. I thank you so much. You honor me. This is the prime time. This is the year of Grim Darkness, my friends. From here on out, you'll be seeing a lot of content pouring from me regularly. I've got so much to say about all the great new games coming as the year progresses and into 2027 and beyond. This is an exciting time for me, friends. Thank you so much for being on this ride with me together. Ave Imperator, and I shall see you again very soon.